Let's go to Canberra now. Joining us is the Liberal MP, Tim Wilson. I won't get your thoughts on the Super Bowl. We will talk about the 60 Minutes program last night, Tim. Jenny Morrison, was she right? Did Grace Tame show a lack of manners and respect?
Oh, I'm not going to enter this conversation, but I think when the Prime Minister's wife invites people into her own home, she has a right to reflect on the manners of others. And of course, I think that's how a lot of Australians will feel today. And so, frankly, I'm not into the ongoing commentary on these things. My focus, obviously, on what we're doing to help build the future of the Australian economy. Jobs up, emissions down. That's the focus of the government, and that's the way it should be. OK, well, on that, when it comes to the tax offset, should it be extended for a third year? Well, that's obviously going to be outlined in the budget. But of course, the reality is we face big challenges as a country. You look internationally at the moment and you see instability, obviously, on the border of Russia and Ukraine. You see inflation pressures and interest rate rises coming down at us. And so we've got to be prudent. I mean, we're heading into challenging and difficult times as a global economy and as a nation. And so I don't think we should be rushing to judgment. I think we should be taking sober and considered responses. And this is what's on the line at this election in the next few months. What's on the line is, who do you trust to run Australia's economy in challenging times, to back Australian households and their budgets? And it's going to be by sensible, prudent decision making. Yeah,
I mean, but that's the problem, isn't it, for the extension of this tax offset, that if you don't do it, then it's a tax increase for a huge portion of the public. And if you do, then that is an added inflationary pressure, right?
Well, there are always tensions in terms of the extension of different government support payments programs, different tax measures and the like. But the main focus has to be, obviously, what are we going to do to keep the nation strong and the economy strong? Because the best realisation of the economic potential of Australians is, do they have a job? Are they able to support themselves and their families? And of course, then contribute to the overall welfare of the nation. And we want a productive nation. We want one where Australian households stand on their own 2 feet. And that's why the focus of the coalition has always been on lowering taxes. Labor is always how they can increase the amount of tax revenue that they control. We want that money in Australia's hip pockets.
Just want to get your thoughts, Tim, on Zali Steggall. A report this morning suggesting that she failed for almost 2 years to disclose a $100,000 political donation from a multi-millionaire who's been accused of fraud. What's your take on that?
Well, it seems that, based on the media reports, they deliberately split donations so that it would fall under electoral disclosure, so they wouldn't have to tell the public. Now, I'll leave it up to others to investigate whether a crime has been committed. But on the face of it, this is the sort of conduct that is deeply unacceptable, raises serious issues of integrity and, frankly, absolute hypocrisy. It seems that this person who donated the money, they deliberately tried to subvert from electoral law, is a big coal investor, and concurrently, Ms Steggall has been running around claiming that she is against coal donations. So not only is she a hypocrite, but they may have subverted the law, and I think we've got to look at whether, of course, there are potential criminal issues.
Right, and so would this have to be handed back?
Well, I think that's a question for Ms Steggall, frankly. Should she be handing $100,000 back that she's been trying to keep secret and deliberately splitting donations to keep under electoral disclosure laws? I think that's not just a question for her. I think it's a question for, her big backers like Simon Holmes à Court. Does he support this? Do some of the other fake independent candidates running around the country, firstly, have they been engaging in this sort of conduct? Secondly, are they going to hand back donations of a similar variety if they've taken them? And what action is the Australian Electoral Commission going to take when there's been a seemingly deliberate intention to subvert the law? OK,
Tim Wilson, live out of Canberra. Thanks, Tim. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Now it's time for some weather. Rob Sharp joins us. Rob, showers have returned to the Queensland coast. How wet's it going to be today?
Yeah, it'll be reasonably wet today in eastern parts of Queensland. Long dry gaps between showers, but showers will be coming through bits and pieces. You can see at the moment just a few showers north coast New South Wales, southeastern Queensland, but also in the far northern tropics of Queensland and off the coast. But the wet weather that's currently off the coast is likely to come over land at times through today. So we'll see primarily this afternoon a shower or two for most locations along the Queensland coast and the north coast of New South Wales. Some places we'll see a few few showers, mainly up in the North Tropical Coast and Tablelands. But across the country, elsewhere for today, shower or storm a chance for Darwin. It's pretty hot in the middle, and showers and thunderstorms in the west with humid weather for Perth. It's going to be uncomfortable today, and the chance of a storm most likely for the hills. And in the southeast, it's quite warm for most areas, except in Hobart, a top of just 20 degrees. The chance of some drizzle mainly this evening, I'd expect. Pete?
Okay, and it could be a record-breaking Super Bowl, Rob.
Yeah, it's